Hey YouTube, how's it going? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. If this is your first time checking out Julie Divine's channel, what is up? My name is Amy. If you are returning, welcome back. So I am doing something different for your daily video for today. Because there is a lot of romance going on, because there's a lot of people entering relationships, leaving relationships, I just felt like, you know what? I'm just going to do this whole reading based off the Romance Angels deck. Hopefully it resonates with you guys. Hopefully it works. But I really feel like there's definitely a message that needs to be heard. I definitely feel like something is going on with the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. So what better way just to nail it with a romance deck? Just dive right in there, see what's going on. Hopefully it resonates with you guys. Please let me know. Drop a like. Subscribe if you are new to my channel. And with that, let's get started. So I am going to talk about every card in the basis of single and relationship, so you guys can pick if it resonates with you or not. Hopefully it does, but again, this is just guidance for Sunday, September 29th. So let's get started. So your first card coming up is the honeymoon card. So for those in relationships, for me, the honeymoon card is just coming up to tell you that now is the time for you just to go away with your partner. It doesn't have to be for a long period of time. Could just be a weekend getaway, maybe even just a night if you can't find a babysitter to watch your kids for that long of a period of time. But I feel like it's two people who really need to spend some quality time together. I totally get, when you're occupied with work, when you're occupied with school, when you're occupied with kids, and it's like you and your partner, even though you guys know you love each other, it's like that time that you used to have, you don't really have anymore because you're busy with other areas of your life, right? So it's like Spirit's coming through and saying, you know what? You have to make each other a priority again, And as hard as that can be, because you do, or some of you will feel guilty leaving your children. And some of you are like, oh no, I'm gonna take the, I'm not a parent. I love my kids, but I love that time away from them because then I can figure out who I am as an individual. And that's the other message, is that we get so caught up in being moms and dads, right? That we forget that we are human too. We are our own individual selves. So I feel like the message for those in relationships or married with the honeymoon card is that, take this time to go away with your partner if it's even possible. It doesn't even have to be overnight, guys. Maybe just a few hours, maybe just doing something spontaneous or something that you guys can do together. But it's like being in this place of really just needing to learn about each other a little more. Like, I feel like maybe you're not, like, obviously, especially if you've been married for like 15 years, you know each other, but it's like going back and just like relearning, because over those years, you forget who you guys are because you're so busy with work again and children. And, it's like you get pushed aside as a couple. And it's like you have to remain strong right now because you two, the mom and the dad, the husband, the wife, you two hold the house down, right? So if you're not strong, then everything in your house is going to fall apart. You're like the foundation of the whole home. So I feel like just a much needed time right now to kind of learn about each other, explore each other again, just to see, who you guys are together. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. But so for my singles, I feel like what the message coming through is that you are put on the single journey for a reason, because you need to find yourself again. So with the honeymoon card coming up, that's just talking about, you going away, you going to take some time for yourself, you taking yourself out for a walk, you taking yourself out for dinner, you doing something solo. You do not need someone to go with you. Yeah, I know it's kind of lame to go out for dinner by yourself, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It's just you being okay with doing things alone. You being okay with taking a trip by yourself, traveling the world, whatever it is. It's like you going within yourself and finding out who you are as an individual. That is where you guys are right now with this honeymoon card. It's like Spirit's just coming and saying, like, do you know who you are alone? Because if you do not know who you are alone, then how do you expect to find out who you are in a relationship? I'm recording. Sorry, guys. Okay, so the second card that came out for you guys says, let your friends help you. So this is really interesting. So for those in relationships, I feel like it's fine to get opinions from your fans, your family. It's perfect. Sometimes we need a little different perspective when it comes to problems in a relationship, like a therapist or stuff like that, right? But don't leave that final opinion be the answer. I feel like with the let your friends help you, what is coming through for me is that you and your opinion and the opinion of your partner needs to be the main validation, needs to be the main point. Okay? Because it's not you and your partner and the whole world. It's you and your partner. And if you're making your decisions based on everyone else, then it's pretty much like saying your whole marriage or your whole relationship is with everyone else. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be you and your partner. But yes, it is always good to get a second opinion to see, where you should go, what direction. But I feel like the main message that I'm hearing is that your opinion and your partner's opinion needs to be the main focus right now. However that resonates with you, but that's really coming up strong. For those in singles, I feel like let your friends help you. Maybe you're the type of person that's like, you're not a bar person or you don't really put yourself out there much. So it's like, let your friends hook you up, blind dates. Maybe you can be like the third wheel party and, you know about it or your friend knows about it. And then it's kind of like you just thrown into the mix. Like there's nothing wrong with going out and having fun, especially when you're single. But I feel like double date was the other word that I was hearing. But I feel like just where you are, it's just about fun right now. It's about going out and living. Life doesn't have to be serious and you don't have to take life so seriously. So be in this place where it's like either relationship or single, have fun. And I feel like if you need that second opinion or a second advice, for especially those in a relationship, then go and do that. But again, it all comes down to not being the main priority. And then the single people, again, like blind dates, double dates, setup, and third wheel is what I'm hearing with that card. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. I just drew a blank for a second. Okay. So moving on, codependency is the third card that's coming up for you guys. So codependency talks about things like, so for relationship wise, if you are your partner or you are dealing with an addiction, drugs, sex, alcohol, maybe they work a lot, gambling, that all ties into your relationship, right? So when I'll just do drinking because that's formally the only thing that I've had to deal with in my young 32 years of life. But however this resonates with you, people that are married or in a relationship, you take it how it is. But it's being in this place of you can only help someone to the point that if they aren't willing to see their actions, if they aren't willing to change, then you need to take a step back and ask yourself, like, what the heck are you doing? And I know from personal experience how hard that is, especially when you give to someone. And then it's like, no matter how much you give, they're just not cluing in. They're so codependent on that alcohol to get them through that they don't understand the health effects that's what's doing it to them. So I feel like, I don't know who this is for, but it's like you're dealing with somebody who's, very codependent, whether that is any of the things that I listed above, or, same with the singles. It all kind of works out. But even if you're single and you're dealing with someone close to you that's, got a codependency, or even you have a codependency, like this is what's affecting your love life right now. You drinking too much, you doing too many drugs, you're working too much, you're having too much sex, which I don't think is possible, but actually it is possible because I didn't even know you could have a sex addiction till a couple of years ago. Money, right? Gambling. I feel like the overall message for you guys with this codependency that's coming through for me is that when you have a person who has one-sided expectations, when you have a person who is crossing boundaries, especially when you've tried again everything you can and it's not getting across to them, you are going to lose yourself in the process of this relationship. You will lose yourself in the process of it all, even if you're single. Because not only are you losing yourself, but you are losing everyone around you that's close to you because no one knows how to help you. No one knows how to, they're telling you, hey, like, look, you have these issues, you need help. But until you are willing to accept that, or your partner is willing to accept that, it is definitely easier said than done. So I feel like there's talk about judgmental. So this person could be judging you because you're trying to help them, or they may feel like you're judging them, but it's not even judgmental. It's just, no matter how much you try to help this person, again, it just, if they don't want the help, then, you know, you can stay there. I mean, it's really hard, especially when it comes to like marriages and relationship, because you're like, I don't want to walk away from my marriage. I don't want to walk away from my relationship, but how do I stay in that? How do I help this person? And I mean, the only thing you could possibly do is, you know, get them into the AA meetings or some type of therapist, someone that has higher up answers for you. But you guys are in this place where it's like, if this situation, if this codependent situation is changing you, then you've got to reevaluate yourself at this time, because you should never be in a relationship where anyone is codependent on you or you are codependent on anyone. Okay? This person or you, because this is a codependency, it will become very resentful. I feel like the person who's going to be affected by this is the one that's not codependent. So I feel a lot of like resentment, a lot of feeling unloved, because it's like, no matter how hard you try to help this person, they're not getting it, they're not seeing it. So it's kind of, you have to go back and ask yourself, like, is this worth it? Because it's a hard topic. You know, codependency is very hard to talk about, especially when it comes to certain stuff like that. But, you know, you can't change someone who doesn't want to be changed. For like the fourth time I said that in a sentence, but you can't. And no matter how much you love them, no matter how much you're there for them, that's pretty much all you can do is love them. And it's really hard, guys. So moving on, the past life card is coming up for the relationships, because I feel like someone might come back into your life that you've known before. So this could be like past life. This could be, you know, a connection maybe that you've met a couple months ago, a couple of years ago. But I feel like for some of you, someone might come back in, and this type of person, like if you're married, because it's a relationship. So if you're already in a relationship or already married, I feel like this person's coming back, maybe because they realize it wasn't greener on the other side. But you did at one point have a really strong connection and attraction to this person. So those feelings might redevelop, but you're also in this place where you're like, you know what? You made your bet. You got to line it now, because where I am now, I'm happily married or I'm happily in a relationship. But I do feel a sense for some of you that are in a relationship or are married, there is someone going to be gravitating back towards you. Those in singles, like someone is definitely coming back as well. And they do want a second chance. And I feel like, again, there was some type of attraction, some type of connection. And I feel like you can just tell like how much he desires her and how much he wants her. So it's definitely a sexual thing. But it definitely is like, I feel like an offer, a commitment is what's going to be made. But I feel like when the relationship and the married people, you're kind of like, you're too late, dude. Like, I've already have a commitment. You made your bed, you lie in it. But for the singles, it's definitely about kind of going within yourself right now and asking yourself, is this person going to be suited for where you are in your life? And I know that spirit and the universe align you with people at the right time for the right moment, but you also need to know your worth and your value at this time. So I don't know who needs to hear that. And with the Love Yourself First card coming up as your next card, this just tells me that, you know, for the single people, you need to know your value. You need to know your worth. You need to know that you are worth more than a one-night stand. You need to know. And I'm not saying that don't have a fuck buddy, especially if you want to be single. That's all by mean your choice to do whatever you please. But I feel like you need to know and ask yourself, like, what are my needs? What are my wants? And what do I want for this stage in my life? Because, you know, maybe at this time, this Love Yourself First is coming up because you just need to take some time for yourself. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame of taking yourself off the dating market until you find out who you are again. Because maybe you did deal with that codependency. Maybe you were dealing with someone who had, one of the things that I listed: addictions, drinking, drugs, work, sex, or gambling, right? And that took a toll on you. And you kind of were like, you know what, I'm going to take some time for myself. There's no shame in that. The love yourself first card for the relationship. What I hear is that just because you're married, just because you're in a relationship, does not mean you should give up on working on yourself. You are still human. You are still an individual who needs to take care of your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual state. So, yes, give to your partner. Yes, be there for your partner. Yes, be there for your kids and whatever else you have going on in life. But be there for yourself too, because you are as important as everyone else. All right. So, only a few more cards left. Hopefully this is making sense to you guys. It's something different. Okay, romantic feelings. So, for my singles, I feel like what I'm hearing is that nobody has a right to make you feel bad for how you feel. If you want to express how you feel to someone, you freaking go ahead and do that. Like, no one has a right to tell you how you feel. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but it does not mean you have to listen to it. It doesn't mean you have to go along with it. You need to do what you need to do right now that makes you feel good. What does your heart say? What does your gut say? If it's confused, if you're unsure, then you need to take a step back and reevaluate. Those in relationships, I feel like, again, it all talks about being able to express yourself and being able to communicate with yourself, not with yourself, but with your partner without feeling, this goes down to like the narcissist behavior or the emotional abuse. Like, how you talk to your partner, belittled is the word that I was hearing. Like, being able to express to your partner, like, hey, like, this is upsetting me, or this is like, making me mad, or this is hurting me. It's like, if your partner switches it around and tries to make it all about them and tries to make you feel bad, then you've got to ask yourself if you're in the right relationship for you, because no one has a right to make you feel shitty. No one has a right to cross your boundaries, and no one has a right to emotionally abuse you. So have that open communication with your partner to say, you know what, these are my boundaries, and like, they should be respecting them, right? Like, so I feel like the romantic feelings, be in this place where expressing yourself is definitely going to keep the line of communication open, because no relationship can work without communication. I'm sorry, I don't know if someone's going to tell you different, but I know from experiences from my last relationship that that was one of the reasons why we had a falling out, and why there's many reasons, but why I walked away, because I feel like, you know what, if I can express to you how I feel, whether it's me telling you I love you and you reciprocating that, or just telling you anything, and you just have this urge to blow up or just not want to listen, then there comes a problem where there's clearly no communication between us, that we can't talk about, anything. So it's kind of like, if you can express how you feel to your partner, then maybe you have to reevaluate if you're in the right relationship. Just stay optimistic about your love life. So for the singles, I feel like a lot of positive thinking right now where you guys are will really help you take you to the next level, especially if you had a bad experience. But I feel like the overall message that I'm hearing for you guys today is that when it's meant to be, it will be. So let it unfold the way that it's supposed to. For those in relationships, honestly, this is probably the easiest card, because it's just all about faith, all about trust, all about communication, knowing that no one is perfect, knowing that no relationship is perfect. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's what I hear. Like, and you got to realize that no one is perfect. Everyone has flaws. You just got to find the one who's willing to stick it out with you, right? And the last card is express your love. So, singles, you need to be open with what you want. You need to be open with your needs, your wants, your desires. You need to let people see you for who you are, because you do not want someone to fall in love with an illusion of you. If they can't love you for you and your flaws, then they should not be in your life. For those in relationships, again, it's honest communication, and, knowing that where you are is where you're meant to be. Spirit puts you two together for a reason. So it's now maybe could just be as simple as planning a date for your spouse. Maybe it's not something that you guys have done for a while. So it's about planning a date, Again, it doesn't have to be anything big, but maybe you guys haven't gone on a date in a while. Maybe movies, maybe dinner, maybe running her bubble bath. I don't know. I personally haven't been on a date in a while because I'm living my best life being single, but I just feel like whatever comes to mind when you think date or taking care of my partner, that's what you guys should be doing for today, all right? So hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully this makes sense for Sunday. Hopefully it resonates with anyone. Hoping my message is as clear as can be. It's definitely a different thing, but I'm trying to add some more stuff to my channel. So you guys let me know how you like it. Write down in the comments. I'm sending you guys all love and light, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Take care.